That's why we have this kind of double elimination structure, and it looks like, Matt, we are going to be getting into this one. It's going to be Cobble to kick things off there. Obviously, it's the best of three, it's the grand final. TyLoo versus Renegades. They'll be starting on the CT side, TyLoo, so we'll see what kind of buys are going to be coming in. Interesting, there's going to be Cobble to kick things off. Like the guy said on the desk, it's the exact same map pool we saw in the previous matchup.
I thought we might get a nuke in. I really did think Renegades might go for it in the final.
Well, it's actually TyLoo, the bandit, was the last veto, so Renegades were willing to play it.
And all weekend they were. I was hoping they might just throw it in first just to get it in there, but we did not see nuke in this tournament. We will not see nuke in this tournament, unfortunately.
Yes.
Perhaps when we do reach the major, when the randomizer's in place, we could. But Fancy, this is really, really good off the pistol round. He's already wrapped in behind them. They've got all the information they're going into B, so a fast rotation in order. And Captain Mo, he's going to go down on arrival, but they still have 4 inside of the site. Azur drops one more. It's somebody inside of the throw position. But he got 1 kill before that. It's a trade, and Didi goes low. That's going to make it all too easy. Thankfully, Attacker's there, but it's a kit onto Attacker. He's picked that up from, I believe, somebody that was playing in that drop position, but he's the last alive. And a CZ from this range. There's a USB beside him. I'd always prefer it there. Yeah, he's going to go for that for the range now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the only option he's got here. Yam will take him down in the end, so Renegade's going with a pretty simple B contact play there, just walking to the side, waiting until CT spotted them. Like you said, it was Fancy one coming in the back. We thought he could do something with that, but by the time he arrived, Renegades had already made their move on towards the site, and he couldn't really do too much there. But Renegades do open things up. It's a pistol going in their favor. It's Azur. He's had a fantastic tournament. One of the names that's really stood out for me, including JKS as well. I feel like those guys really have stepped up for Renegades. And they will be taking the pistol there. We go to the second round. TyLoo, famous for their force buys, mainly on the terrorist side, will be going into the second round with the upgraded pistols, head armor as well, and actually one-man stack towards the A side of the map. It's Fancy one to take down Lucillo. That opens things up, and this is horrible now. Look at this choke point, 4 kills.
Wow. That's just insanity. We saw huge issues with ecos. There's been a number of trends throughout this tournament. First off, team killing. I still need the statistic for how many there has been in this tournament. But there's also been a lot of ecos, and it's a lot of careless play on the anti-eco situations, I fear.
There's no need to rush. We talk about it so much, right? There's no need to rush into one. That's a very tight choke point. That's like the equivalent of like a B, dust 2 B tunnels, right? It's so narrow. You have to walk around a corner. It can be crossfires there. Anything can be lying for you. They're not using flashbangs. They're not smoking anything off. They're not molotoving. That is full-on 5-man rushing long A. And there's no real reason for that. If it works out, fine. Like, it's more than likely it is, but anyway, we'll get into that later. It's going to kick off here. Fancy one does take down the first kill. The Renegades respond. Actually get 2 kills here, so they get the man advantage. Yam goes down to 19 HP, and they pick up a Famous as well.
Didi going to peek out toward long with the M4. It's Azur that's staring it down, but the M4 always going to win in that range. Good shot from Yam, though, to take somebody. He's very low. Attacker's going to push through, trade that back, and then fall away smartly, because they could still wrap down on Danger and overwhelm him. Didi peeks again. He goes down to Azur. MP7 from that range. A headshot perfectly placed. And it does give them a bit of movement toward the Stable's position, but it's Azur the take Attacker. I thought surely with the range game they would have been in a better position than that.
Yeah, well, Renegades bounce back after quite a horrible decision on the second round. They do manage to pick up round number 3. They'll have quite a considerable advantage, I was about to say, but look at the CT actually forcing into this himself. This is going to be a very back and forth game, I feel. We'll see what kind of weaponry is coming in, but here's the highlights from the last round. MP7 coming up, pretty important there. There we go, 2 M4s, a UMP and 2 CZs against a pretty similar buy. Almost identical in that respect. We'll see how this one goes down. Looks like Renegade's going for another straight up rush B here.
Attacker and somebody are the 2 inside of the site, one smoked off. Attacker still with vision, though. M4, good snapback. Nice aim, in fact, onto Ustillo, but Azur's there. Jumping through, he's got not only the 1 kill onto Attacker, but a second one on Didi. And finally, Renegade's going to stabilize things against this force buy. So now it should be a 2-round spread. Yeah. This should be a situation where it's double eco to get their money back in line on the TyLoo side.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done well now, Renegades. Once again, rushing on their anti-ecos, but it works out this time. They get the bomb down and trade effectively. Looking very calm in the booth as well, not getting ahead of themselves. This is Azur, like I said, one of the star players from this tournament. He gets another 3 frags there to secure the round. And yeah, this should be a pretty solid lead now, but the problem is the CTs have got those AG grenades towards B. And it's a B rush once again. Renegades are being a little bit careless in these rounds. It's going to be the first one, let it drop, and there's going to be 2 now. Wow. They do seem to recover 4 very quick frags coming in from Renegades here. That should be the round secured at this point.
This is actually, Sponge could go down here. Thankfully does not, because his teammates were shooting through that smoke. He actually got super confused about it, didn't know where it was coming from, and looked away from the enemy behind rock. But 4-1, and now, yeah, like we said, better money than I would have thought for TyLoo in this situation. Okay, so they're going to go for it. I thought they might go for one more just to get it really stable, because they're not going to have good utility or kits here in this situation.
Come on, Matt, this is TyLoo.
You're right. I'm sorry I questioned it.
This is their bread and butter, forcing every single possibility they can. They're going to be going with 3 and 4s, 2 Famases, no kits, no AWPs, and 2 players without any utility, really. So this could be a real chance for Renegades to get their heels stuck in, and we'll see. Another rush, why not? Just rush B. Here we go.
Into the site already. Somebody behind the statue. They know, they should always know he's going to be there, because he plays either chicken coop or statue. We talked about this previously, but Renegades are finding the kills required at this point in time. It's Attacker to get down Sponge, though. That leaves it actually now to a 1 versus 1, because DD finds Yam rotating back around from the drop position. So the bomb goes down. And thankfully, due to the... Oh, no, he didn't actually make it across. He's going to stay behind the statue. Hazard, but still hits the shot. He had a chance behind the smoke to go back toward the platform, but he stays on it and ends up winning the duel.
What's interesting is we kind of discussed this whole TyLoo thing on Cobble, having that passive hold and like having all the crossfires deep on the bomb site. I think Renegades has just worked out the formula to beat them. If you just rush, those crossfires become a lot less effective. Like the meta currently is not, most teams won't rush.
That is something we talked about with Liquid, because they were trying to set the pick strategy.
Exactly,
and it didn't work.
right? So you talk about players like Nitro walking up and trying to take the pick on the upper platform. This is Renegades, well, you know what, they're going to play passively. We'll just rush them and just get a bomb down and take them on 1 by 1 and just swarm them with numbers. And they've broken TyLoo once again. It's currently 5-1 here. And Yam killing him with the P90. No ult for him yet. And we can see some partial investment here from TyLoo. It's Fancy One holding up towards the
shadow.
Okay. That's the one thing I don't like about CSGO. I have to say the shadows. You can't see your own shadow. You can see the other players.
Yep.
It can be a little frustrating sometimes, but you know.
There's a couple places where it's actually very significant as well.
Yeah.
If you wrap down the back stairs on overpass, or even if you're standing at the top of them and someone's flanking, the shadow is completely on the wall for like a 5-second period before you even see them.
Well, then it's going to be a 5-on-3 now. Desert Eagles and CZ remaining for TyLoo, and this is better. This is how you should be approaching an anti-gear situation. You get the advantage, you slow things down, wait for the CT reaction to come in. You see TyLoo didn't really have much to work with whatsoever. They don't have any utility here. And they are going to be holding up pretty spread out. 2 players towards B, 1 is holding close to those mid doors. So at this point, Renegades just need to choose one area. Couple of smokes going in, and JKS does find a kill. Another player who's been phenomenal this tournament, one of the best clutches in the Oceanic Asian region, I would say.
Yeah, I would absolutely say so. I didn't think there would be a hard argument to find anyone else. Maybe Ricky, but usually he's in the mid-round fragging. But nonetheless, we're back to the action. Sponge in, takes Attacker, and Azur closing it out. Azur's having a solid game so far.
Yeah, those guys have been like the star players, I would say, overall. Ustillo, though, can't deny his... Like, he's not one of the players that's consistently going crazy, but he has the rounds that have so much impact when they need it most. That's when he seems to come to life. He can find those big rounds with 3 or 4 kills. But here comes the frag shots here. Azur with 13 kills. You said he was having a good game, and he died 3 times as well. Attacker on TyLoo with 8. The rest of his team not really contributing so far, but they have got the AWP this time. Captain Mo, very strong AWP player. We'll see whether he can step up here. He's going to be going against Yam this time. Both players facing towards long A, but it's not an aggressive face here from the CTs. And it's looking like potential B fake coming in, I want to say, from Renegades. They have 1 player towards that side of the map, and then they could be going for that NIP sort of mentality, sort of throwing all the smokes over towards B, having Ustillo to run in there. There it is, yeah. The smokes go in towards the site, and Ustillo is going to be there for the fake, and we'll see whether this works out for them.
Well, this is what we talked about as well. Natsu mentioned it. If you're going to sell these fakes, you need the salesman in the site. When we first saw them play TyLoo, because remember, this is the 3rd time this tournament they have had a best of 3. They weren't selling them well enough, and TyLoo here isn't going to rotate. Nice shot by Yam up close. He took down DD before that as well, so very fast reactions to hit the no-scope.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. It's going to be a 2-on-2 now as well. They've got plenty of time to work with. We can see JKS in a pretty decent position as well. CT's waiting for that smoke to dissipate before they make their next move. Attacker's on low HP, so the real chance that that shot from Yam was so important, but the CT has pushed out from the connector towards that mid-round.
Yeah, they were trying to overthink things considerably. So in the series, TyLoo has 1 win and Renegades has the other. It's dead even between the 2. Good flank coming in right now through Danger.
This could be very important indeed. I don't think they'll be anticipating this. Oh, I think Yam has there. They're going to see him, and JKS gets the shot, but it's coming in from Attacker in towards that balcony area, facing at the perfect time there, just as his teammate made the distraction. And they win their 2nd round.
2nd round, 1 player survives, and this is a reset now of 5 rounds total.
Yeah.
Because the first round they won was round 2 on the Eco.
Yep.
So it is a full reset, and as is the case, Captain Mo, the AWP player, normally is onto a P90 in this round.
This is the reaction from Yam.
That's sick.
It must have been a no-scope. Had no chance to actually get the scope out, but the final kill from Attacker then, you're absolutely right. This is dangerous for the CTs now. They've got P90s, Famises, UMPs, little utility. I think it's just another B rush coming in.
Azure inside of the site. Slight gap in that smoke. Doesn't spawn anyone inside of it. Attacker was on the other side of that flower pot. Somebody's going to get the shot out of you, Stillo. He's still behind that statue position, and this is where he's very patient. This is where he's actually quite good on this map. He's just going to sit there longer inside of that smoke. Finally, Sponge will get to an angle where he can take him down. And Azur's going to do the better work, and Attacker's gun sticking out. It's far too easy. Azure! And that's the third one on the drop room. DD falls. It's down to just Captain Mo. We mentioned with this P90. Finds the first one. M4 or AK at his leisure, and goes for the AK, but Yam, he'll take the AWP and just put him down. It's quite simple, really, from Renegades, this fast pace.
Azure is playing out of his mind right now. So confident going to those bomb sites, just pushing through past smokes and dealing with them by himself almost. 3 kills for him in that last one, very crisp headshot. And you see Mo, he's one of the star players of TyLoo. He's only got 2 frags right now, so that's a massive deal. 7 plays 2, and that's the full reset as well. You have to assume that TyLoo will be going in for an eco here. Can't really justify much else. They could force it. They know they're going to be double eco anyway. That's something some teams will go with, but I would say the current situation, take the full eco, make sure you have an AWP going forward. We'll see if this one goes down. This is going to be a tactical pause, I assume, yeah. So TyLoo taking this. Yeah. I think this is definitely the right time. It is getting rushed right now, and this is Renegades actually doing their homework. We looked at a little bit audacious to begin with, but when you consider it, and how we explained it earlier, that TyLoo were famous having these really passive holds and denying picks being available, just rushing them down and actually segregating them in that way. If they're not going to face, and you can get there onto the bomb site before they can do anything about it. It does actually make a lot of sense in that respect. Some logic to the madness, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, we did discuss the fact that the style of TyLoo on this map is very, very slow. So there's lots to read into. I mean, this is the thing. With TyLoo and the hype around them, a lot of it is based on the fact that no one's really done any research against them, how to counterplay them.
Yeah.
So going to E-League is going to be a wake-up call, I think, for them. I don't think they're going to do poorly, don't get me wrong, but they are going to be in for a rough start.
Well, this is a very interesting conversation to have about TyLoo. Obviously, the skill is there. The individual performance is undeniable. But in terms of going forward, they need to start adapting. They can't just rely on their own game. They need to start doing the research themselves and changing their game, going up against each opponent. They need to kind of have that mentality going forward. That's why teams like Fnatic, who go in with the quite basic Counter-Strike approach and its defaults and kind of having mid-round calls, that's why it works so well across the board. It can't just rely on one sort of setup like we've seen from the CT so far. But here we go then. It's going to be a full eco coming in. 15 of CZ is all they've done. They've stacked towards that A-long area once again, hoping that Renegades may fall for the same trick twice. Not going to be the case this time. They're going for more of a default as they hold towards middle. No one committing to anything just yet. The CT's holding strong towards the A side of the map though. No one showing any presence towards B whatsoever. So they'll be questioning as to Renegades
JKS. Gap held. Ooh, did he spot? Apparently not. X-ray misleading. You may not actually be able to see him in that position. I think he's just slightly behind the doorway, but slow set play this time for Renegades, knowing the situation with the economy, knowing that that was a reset. They're just waiting to probe out exactly what TyLoo are up to, and right now it's going to be a 4-man flank coming around from the A side. They've left JKS back to watch for it. He goes down from DD. Now that should be the cue to go. Get on the horse and get inside of the B site because the flank is coming in. Azur's there to hold. Does hit 2, but he's going to fall, having sprayed away and missing the shot toward Attacker, and Captain Mo is able to capitalize. 3 still up right now, make it 1 less for Renegades on 2. As Yam hits 2 shots. No, take that back. Sorry, you still. There's the second one. I knew he was going to get 2. That's why I said it.
Exactly. I knew what you meant. I could see it coming as well. But is the pause coming in for? This must be technical.
This one has to be technical. It's
Sponge
just yeah.
There's no reason for them to take a pause, really.
Reminder as well, if you didn't catch it. All right, guys, we're back into it. It looks as though we may have a solution to what is the problem. So,
what is that?
well, it seems a bit silly, but the Wi-Fi, because they're running a Wi-Fi to that laptop, is cutting out. So they've fixed it.
Ooh, we're back in.
Apparently we're back in round half done. In fact, over, as Renegades will pick up now 9-2, so we didn't see that one. Presumably...
It was a buy from TyLoo to save the rifle.
Going to say they've saved a rifle on Captain Mo, and they're down around 2,500, which they would not have been otherwise. So they bought into that and still were unable to pick up yet another round.
Okay. Well, I won't analyze it for you, but we'll see what kind of buy does come in from TyLoo. They have got HE grenades, PT-50s. There's the smokes coming in from Renegades once again for that B-rush. I assume they'll be committing at this stage. As it comes into round number 12, we'll see whether TyLoo can do anything about this. The M4, Captain Mo is going to have all the players on top of the screen right now. It's going to be equal frags coming in. Mo finds 2, and actually a 3-on-2 advantage for the CTs.
Captain Mo again on the Yam. JKS though in behind the tree is able to stay into a 1-on-2 because he's got the first kill. They know exactly where he is, but they're a little bit hesitant to try and present themselves for that exact reason. It's now isolated down to a 1-on-1. And somebody's going to sit inside of that smoke, rotate back over. Can't afford to push through it, but he's still just on the PT-50. He needs to get toward a gun and just ducked out of sight. JKS didn't see him. That's going to be a bit of a problem because JKS nearly caught jumping, but turns around in time and still hits the shot.
There he is again. Always with the clutches. This time it's a 3-on-1, and he really does put it up for his team. That was a big round for TyLoo to get back into it. It was Captain Mo with the M4A4, the only weapon saved. He managed to get a few kills, but it wasn't quite enough to hold off JKS. And here's the replay of Mo's frags. As I said, great exchanges from the CT to the start. They actually fully stacked that B-side. This wasn't quite enough. And it's going to be double figures for Renegades here on the first half of Cobble. Against round number 13, they have got the AWPR as well. But his first shot, and it's actually Mo missing, takes down. Oh, he's still out. It's going to be a 5-on-4 now, and they actually have control of long A as well. So the CT's now on the back foot, using what little utility they have to hold them off as long as they can. The thing is, at this point, once you push the CTs back to the bomb site, regardless of whether you actually get them into the A site, you still have enough time to fall back and just keep the numbers towards A with one person. Actually, we'll be committing straight away here, the Renegades.
Spots the head, but can't land to the shot. Flash can hold him in position. Still down a man early, though. They have to come up with an answer. This could be a decent setup. So Attacker gets not only lit on fire, but dropped down in behind the hut. But Fancy's still on the platform, and it's very unlikely that teams play to... Oh, this plant, though. That's so smart. Plays the trigger discipline. Bomb still goes down, but Fancy needs to clutch this out 1-on-3.
Wow.
He could have denied it. It might have been doable, but he lost all his teammates far too quickly.
You're right, that plant actually is pretty smart. Obviously, he didn't check it, but still, it like eradicated that being a possibility. The CT to come and kill him, had to run all the way around, and the bomb actually got planted before he could actually deny anything. So it's going to be 11-2 here, and this is turning into a bit of a bloodbath. I didn't think it would be this much of a one-sided affair. It's round number 14 now. We'll see what kind of cash is coming in for the CTs. It's not great. 4 Famouses, 1-4, no kits, very little utility. And you can see those set smokes once again going into the site as they run in. This is going to be another B-rush here, Matt. Why not?
Made back into the feet of Azure. Does put 152 before he enters. He's been the hot commodity so far on Renegades, but somebody gets 2 kills. Azure still able to wrap around. Confidence once more, but Attacker drops him from inside the arch. And somebody finally going to get Molotov away from that position at Chicken Coop. He's caught by Spuns in transition. Bomb dropped on the site. Smoke still to add to the statue, position to cross over and comfortably grab it, but Yam hits the shot on Captain Mo. It's brought back by Attacker. He doesn't need to face this. He does not need to overcommit, but he's still in the open, and Yam's going to find him.
Lovely stuff by Yam. It seems like every single clutch, there's been lots of these 1-on-1s and 2-versus-1s, and it's actually a 3-on-1 as well, the JKS one, and Renegades coming out on top every single time. They are here to play today. It seems like they're firing on all cylinders. It's 12-2. We're going to round number 15. It's only a very quick first half there, and of course, TyLoo have to force into this maximum loss bonus. Famouses and M4, no kits. And it's this chicken coop position that somebody seems to get away with almost every single time we see him there. There wasn't enough to win the round this time.
And there's the closing shot, the final blow. 12-2. Not at all what I would have expected on this first map.
Agreed.
Considering as well that TyLoo spanked, not on this map of course, but Renegades early when they first played each other in what was the first of now 3 best-of-3s they've played this weekend. The second one obviously with the Renegades, hence why they were in the winner's bracket, but this is even another story. As Renegades just tapping away. The gun's all caught out by TyLoo as they try to get aggressive and change things up. They get left in the open and can't find trades.
can you say about this first half? This is insane. Renegades mixing things up. Those really nice rushes and the default play working the pitch as well. These great calls here, but it's DD coming in with the upper platform aggression. Takes 2 down. It's not an equal exchange yet, but it's certainly helping. It's the final round, and he's going to be pushing in towards the upper platform now, stuck in a really difficult position. If someone is to face, he could get taken down here. There it is, as it gets him. 3-on-1 now, just going to be attacker remaining. He's rotating in for the connector doors, and surely nothing he can do. He's got 1 flashbang and 3 terrorists to find.
He's got a lineup in the open himself. Tries to spray the transfer the spray. Doesn't even hit the second opposition, and it's 13-2 at halftime for Renegades.
Oh dear. And the CT half is where TyLoo is supposed to be very strong on this map. That's where they kind of come to life.
Well, I guess the fast play of Renegades, this fast pace that they're bringing against this passive setup certainly works. No question about that.
We're going to the second half now. And then you have to think if Renegades do win this pistol, that's pretty much mapped one over as quickly as it started. We had a lot of these results yesterday, these 16-2s, 16-3s. There wasn't really a game to talk about yesterday that was of any worth, but...
No, certainly not.
I think we had 4 maps, and we didn't have one game go over. I think there was a 16-9 there, but it was already like a, what, an 11-4 half or something like that, or 12-3 half. 13-2.
Good news is I have bubble tea, Henry.
That is good news.
Forgot to put the sugar into it. Not the greatest bubble tea, but I've got it. Probably should have let the local, who's been ordering it throughout the weekend, order it for me this time too.
Yes.
Bubbles are still good though, in case you're wondering.
I was. Well, DD, those are the final frags of the last round. We go into the second half. They've got 4 sets of armor. It's going to be Fancy. One calling himself Fancy Monkey today. Going to have a smoke and 2 flashbangs. Looking like they'll be favouring towards the A site here. One player focusing towards the B site. He's in the upper platform showing some presence, but they will be committing now pretty quickly as well to the A site.
Yeah, with the spot down toward mid. Goes a little bit more passive on that angle because he knows there's no one out toward long A. He needs to have some read, have some vision if they do try and push that position. He may get caught here because he's not looking. Now he sees them. Now he's going to fall back. Can't leave himself in the open. They'll give up the A site. This will be a bomb plant for TyLoo at the very least. As the bomb crosses now, and all 5 do make it onto the site. But the first one goes to Azure. It's Attacker and Monkey that managed to pull it back, though. Cut off the first rotations. Azure finds another, but bomb goes down. And it's a 2 versus 2. No kit up just yet. Yam has a smoke, but little that will do. Other than mask a defuse. Highly doubt that it'll mask 10 seconds, though. And now they slow things down considerably, Renegades, to try and make this work. JKS going to work in from the door. His teammate coming out from the arch inside of the hut. They set the crossfire back toward the bottom of balcony, but Yam finding DD gives them a chance. Attacker now 1 versus 2 on top of the site, and Yam's got that as well.
I don't think they have the bomb, though.
It's going to be very close.
Nah.
Yeah, no, it's gone. It is gone. It was very close. That was, I think it was about a second if I was to guess, but we will never know, Henry.
Well, you could watch
we
the
could
demo.
know. All right, stop it.
Well, yeah, it felt like I was too far gone. It was a decent attempt from Renegades, like you said, about a second in it, I think. But still, once you get all the kills, a little bit of cash there. We'll see whether they force buy. Surely not. I think Sponge knows of the bigger picture. He'll be telling his team, don't need to force it, guys. Just need to hold on, wait till the first gun round, we'll finish it properly. We won't give them an opportunity to break our economy like we did to theirs.
JKS out toward the long A position, just waiting to see if anyone's going to put aggression toward him, and they may do. There is 2 here and a nade as well to go out, the Molotov to push the corner off, but that's Attacker and somebody. Fancy looking at drop. This could be the A split, but they're not really confident with pushing that A position, so we'll have to see what they come up with as an alternative read.
Well, they will be looking to go in towards the drop down, it seems. Smoke's going over now. Here comes the play towards that area.
window. Fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy getting fancy. He's already got toward the vent room as well. Decent position to be in, because if they go back to B, he cuts off the rotations. Quick reload. No one's going to push him fast enough to take advantage of it, but he's still got the doors covered off. And do they want to give away frag money? That's the bigger issue right now, because this SMG is building bank. 1,800. His Fancy's up to 3. He does get dropped. Nice shot by JKS. But he's now the last alive. Is going to be pursued, and only 2 HP. It's easy enough for them to pick him up.
TyLoo clawing back into it, but still, it should be almost guaranteed round going in their favour. It's 13-4 right now, and nothing will be purchased for the Renegades. Has over 23 kills. Yeah, not far behind, 22. They've had some great rounds. And Attacker now starting to arrive. He's on 16 kills himself, but round number 18. 3 AKs, 2 MP7s, full arsenal grenades. See where they decide to go. This is a 5-man drop-down rush, which will work out. So you've got no confrontation whatsoever with the CTs.
Somebody through the doorway first.
Back to B.
Yeah. Realizes now that they're all on the A site. They've cleared out Chicken Coop and all the other nooks and crannies by which there could be CTs waiting, and it's a very straightforward round. 10 alive, Henry? I've been saying that it might happen all weekend. It hasn't yet.
What a round that finishes with all 10 players alive.
Yeah.
Do you dare to dream?
It's a rarity, but it's can happen. It's probably not, though, because they pushed Captain Mo out toward the B tunnels.
He's not going aggressive, though.
He's passive-aggressive, I guess you could say. Still walking in that direction now. And yeah, there's going to be an exchange. Damn, Dream's dead.
Oh, yeah. Smokes down. Brings the Dream back to life.
Captain Mo, though. Captain Mo, don't ruin it. He's going to ruin it.
Just about ruined it.
Just ruined. Not saved. Oh, definitely not saved. Didi takes down Azir.
Back through the wall.
You're right.
Believe. Here we go then. TyLoo with the AWP, and the same story for Yam as well. And this is why they didn't force up in the second and third rounds. I want to make sure they had these grenades and the AWP and kits and stuff. As I said, you saw what happened to TyLoo when they were limited and those sort of things. And the Rush is just locking them down. Didn't have incendiaries to stop anything like that. But it's going to be 13-5 now. Renegades can win this first gun round. Yet to see. We'll see what they do. 2 players towards A, 3 on B. And Yam actually going aggressive. And he's going to be a player on his top left. He's going to have to be very careful. He's going to be taken down surely by Attacker.
Look how confident they were that there was going to be a push, because somebody stayed in the bell tower. And Yam's going to spot one now. Does hit the shot. Oh, you have to hit that Attacker. When he spun back around, I thought, if he lands this second one,
Yeah.
man.
Well, it was a couple of push by Yam there. The fact he's gone so deep at that was pretty impressive, but he gets one. I didn't think he'd get anything, so at least it wasn't all bad. So we get into round number 19. It's going to be 4-on-4. I guess that does slightly give the benefit towards TyLoo in this situation, but they haven't really got much real estate on the map as of yet. It's going to be edging towards an A split, it seems. Fancy one towards a drop down. 3 of his teammates going towards long A and middle.
Attacker and Didi clearing out Danger, and now bottom middle, and they're going to put Mo with the AWP in a position where he can cover off the top of the doorway. Already seeing there's no one there, he smokes it instead. It'll allow the entry now from Stables as well. Good Molotov. JKS will not be able to sit on top of the platform. Instead he shuffles to the open, and it works out because he and Sponge are able to take down both players on that side of the map. Both players at Stables drop, and then they resume duties at the top of the ramp as well.
Decent hold there from Renegades. He felt like TyLoo didn't really strike when they had the chance. Coming out of the Stables, really decent incendiary drops and funnels them back towards middle, and JKS and Sponge come to life. Decent spray down. Everyone facing together. No one isolated on the site, and this is very well played. Renegades achieve round number 14. 2 more to take the first map in the best of 3. Good job.
Very well done.
No AWP now for TyLoo. Going to be on towards 5 AKs. Looking like they were going for a B-rush themselves.
Molotov inside of the archway. Sponge inside of the drop room. Somebody to go down at JKS. He burns Mo alive because he walks through the edge of the smoke and just gets caught by it, Summit style. As you still are going to take Attacker. And not quite as bad as Summit. My heart goes out to Summit. I like him very much. He's a great guy. But Azur pushes through and takes down 2. Very good push. Calculated, timed it well, knew when the Molotov was thrown he had a chance to at least jump 1 when the gun not drawn. And now it's going to be 25 kills for Azur, 23 for Yam, and 15-5 for Renegades.
Yeah, this is done. Unfortunately, that's going to be the money gone for TyLoo now. No bomb plants in the last couple of rounds. They get an AK and some pistols. Nothing really to lose now. That's just probably rush A by the looks of things. Yam swings it down. They probably could get his kill towards Yam. He needs to read this a little bit better, considering their buy. He didn't need to go aggressive here. They're going to burst through his smoke, and this is a bad call from Renegades, I would say, in this respect. Flash comes in. He will be taken down here shortly.
Oh, he made it. Oh. Worthy effort. Valiant attempt, but they made it back around. They've committed inside of this, though, and the problem is they get stuck inside because that Molotov he placed, they can't back away from it. And then it's Azur and JKS that just murder them at the top of the ramp. It's down to Captain Mo. Last alive, and it's all over. 16-5, Renegades on map number 1.
Well, there it is. Very well played from the Aussies there. Completely wrecked them on the T side. Just, this is the problem we always talked about with TyLoo. As soon as someone works out how to counter their playstyle, they're going to break them apart. We saw them beat Luminosity in Malmo, and it seems like they can't even step up.
On this map, to be
oh, sorry, that's right, yeah. Yep. Right. But I mean, as our general kind of idea, no one really knew how to play against them. But this goes to show you, once you do your research and work out what their weaknesses are, you can step up and completely dismantle them. And with the rushes and set pieces from Renegades, and just even working the picks and breaking the economy, it seemed like it was too much. The first half was 13-2. Going to be Azur on 26 kills, Yam on 23, and they really did leave Frankie Charts there. Attacker was the only player really performing for TyLoo. He gets 17 kills. Mo, someone we look to open up the map and actually find kills all over the place, and especially on the CT side as well, to be defensive and aggressive warfare, I guess. He only gets 7 kills.
Well, it's the same with somebody who normally plays the chicken coop / statue. He's normally very efficient in that B site. Just goes to show you that their setup got completely taken down, dismantled, because he comes out with 9 kills only.
Well, that's the first map done and dusted. It's going to be Mirage next, and if things continue like this, I don't really feel like it's going to go on for too long, but still.
It is TyLoo's map choice.
Their best map, allegedly, and we'll see what they can bring to the table. I hope it's going to be more competitive than that, because that looked a little bit too easy for the Renegades, I have to say. Never really had to break a sweat there. Very simple gameplay and just hitting their shots. Azur playing out of his mind. Yam as well, very strong game. We'll see.
Still just trying to fix up that computer to make sure all is stable for PK, but doesn't seem to make a difference, does it?
Apparently not.
There's your MVP. Azur, not surprising. Again, it wasn't too far behind for Yam, who sat on 23 kills, but Azur with 26 kills, 18 of them headshots.
Impressive. Not bad at all.
And most of them on the entry, which is countering literally what TyLoo do on that B site. So you really have to give him the MVP when you consider how effective and important those kills were, the impact of those entries.
Yeah. Very impressed with Azur so far. It looks like he's performing at an unbelievable level. He's one of the players that I always knew was good, but this tournament he's really shown me he's actually one of the star players of Renegades, and it's interesting to see how him and JKS really are. Not carrying them in a sense, but they're performing throughout this tournament and actually giving them some really key rounds. But we could talk about it all day long, but we've got 3 guys downstairs who are going to do that for us. So, gentlemen, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Henry. We are all here ready to talk about that one again. Like, are we going to have another day where we're just going to see 16-3, 16-4, 16-5 games, really quick ending maps? So are we going to see that again?
Well, to be fair, I mean, one of the things TyLoo really struggles is their economy management. It's just horrible. They force buy way too much. The rounds, they have weapons and they have no nades. And Renegades really, obviously, the fast-paced B pushes, or the B rushes, you could say, worked tremendously when there was not really any Molotovs to be thrown, very limited grenades to be thrown, and the passive positioning. And then with the way that Azur was playing, he was really playing confidently, just going through around the, just basically all through the smokes, just getting all the entries, and TyLoo wasn't able to really adapt to the situation, trying to play more aggressive, trying to get up close to the B platform at all to try and stop the pushes. We saw in the round 20 on the second half, when TyLoo got frustrated, they tried to do a B rush. Then you saw Renegades throw like Molotovs, grenades. I think they died off of one grenade and a Molotov before anything really happened. So there's there's a lesson to be learned there for the Chinese boys.
Yeah. Do you feel like Renegades have done a lot of research about this? Is this why they're on top form here?
I actually think that the way TyLoo played the map really played into how dominant it looked. Like, for example, you have to remember they ecoed the Renegades right back on the second round of the game, and they won through an incredible, like, just the guy being able to defuse. They actually won the second pistol round. So when you consider those two things happen, there's no way you should be getting that few rounds. That should be like a very tight game. Those are like game-deciding rounds. They didn't have any effect on the game. And so one of the weird things about the way the TyLoo team played the CT side is usually they do play that side quite passively. Like somebody, he's really good at being around the like fountain area. Well, I guess the statue on that map. He's always around that area. He's like good at hiding in and out of smokes. This time he was just like at the chicken coop, and he would just take an aim duel against the person who's coming out. And so one of the weird things is it felt like TyLoo, when they got frustrated at like the B players, they were getting wrecked so much, they tried to get information on the map. And famously, you can't really do that on Cobblestone. It's very, very difficult. And so the way they did that was they kept trying to push out over towards the A side to get information. Like, is there someone there? Isn't there? So they can see if a B attack's coming quickly. And all Renegades did is just pick them every time. Like Yam, he didn't get any crazy AWP kills in this game. I think he had like 1-1v1 that was pretty good. Yep. But you see how many kills he got? Is that half of those were just sat like matchmaking really far back on the A side, on the T side of it, just getting the pick when the guy comes to the halls. It was unreal. And actually, some things that TyLoo do, they do almost every time. Like every time Mo has an AWP, he just goes down that middle area and takes that same peak. Well, Renegades by the end of it were like shooting him through the door with an AK every time. So I think Renegades did have some of the tendencies down, but the problem is a bit of like frustration on TyLoo's side snowballed the score up a bit, where they could have played it a bit closer and just been a bit more patient. And then on top of that, there's like no fragging for the guy from TyLoo.
Yeah.
They had no fragging whatsoever.
Yeah, they needed to take a timeout before they did earlier already, and they needed to have a save after they lost that. Like when they won the eco or the force buy and then lost the round after, that's when you save. You don't force buy anymore. You just save one and make sure you have the ops, you have all the utilities. Decided to force buy. Renegades rush B, win the round, and that was
on this
first
map,
7 rounds already down.
On Cobblestone, when you're on CT, you never panic force buy. You only do it if there's like a logical reason. Like I think we've got a good read on them, and we're gonna like push up close, and they're gonna come in. Unless you have some really good reason to force buying on CT side, especially with a map like that, where as Inatu says, like on the B site, even if you know they're coming B sometimes, you need all the utility to be able to get it. You have to have counter flashes, you have to have Molotovs. If you don't have that stuff, you get. I mean, you didn't win when you had all that stuff. If you don't have it, it's even less likely. So that's why you will end up with a crazy scoreline against yourself if you force buy like that.
Do you think we're going to see a more disciplined TyLoo going into Mirage then? Because do you think they're going to learn from their mistakes that were quite evident?
I think it's more like early, because Renegades got on them so early, and then we're just beating them again and again. And then remember the close rounds even went to Renegades. JKS won like a 1v3. Obviously there was that 1v1 that Yam had, where normally the rifler wins that scenario, because obviously the AWP only has one shot. I think these did like tilt the TyLoo guys a little bit. I don't think like they were straight choking out, right? Like they were scared or whatever. But I think they just got super raged out, but nothing was going their way. So as long as Mirage doesn't start with some ridiculous Renegades lead, because obviously Renegades will start on CT side on that map. As long as it doesn't start with some unreasonable lead, I think that it should be much closer affair. And this will be, for me, this is the money map of the series. It's the one that really can decide it, because if the guys from Renegades can get it, then obviously they can close this. But this is going to be the tough one. Like, this is what I think will show if this is TyLoo of the other 2 days, or whether they're just inexplicably going to be bad today.
Yeah, the one thing that we've really noticed from TyLoo is that they keep a high standard in terms of just being happy. Doesn't matter what's going on the server, really. Like, even when they've lost maps, they've still been laughing outside and just being, generally being happy. So I don't think they'll be too bummed out of what happened on Cobblestone. They know they're a very capable team on Mirage, so for sure they're going to come back at it.
And also, you have to figure, Azza's probably going to cool off a little bit.
Oh, like
all of those factors I just mentioned there, on
think?
top of that, every single time he was in aim duel, he won basically on T-side.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often, especially against some of the good players from TyLoo. So I think in the second map, it's probably more reasonable that some of the TyLoo players get into the game. Renegades play, they won't be as good on Mirage, I don't think. So I think some of these factors will make it a better game.
Yeah, hopefully we want to see some really close Counter-Strike. Hopefully it's not just a 2-0, rollover. This is not the TyLoo we were expecting. So let's find out. Let's go